Hello, friends. Welcome to Level Up with Debbie Neal. I am your host. There is nowhere I would rather be than right here, right now with you. This podcast is all about leveling up in all aspects of our lives. Thank you for being here. I am so grateful. I'm excited to be on this journey with you. Together, we are leveling up. You ready? Hello, my friends. Happy 2026. I'm so grateful that you are here. We are officially stepping into a new year. And I really want you to take this time, to really think about what you are creating in 2026. And not just get into frantic action, but to really decide. How often do we hear the word decision? And some people are like, I decided. I did decide. I decided last year. And did you? A decision, I'm talking about the type of decision that there's absolutely no back door. So today, this episode is intended for the leaders who are done drifting. You're done. We are ready to literally live in God's potential. We're done hoping this year will be different. And some of you might be like, I crushed my goals last year. Amazing. I can say personally, I was proud of things that I accomplished in 2025, but I know that I was made for more. So this year, the intention is for the year to be different. You're ready to move with clarity, conviction, and unstoppable energy. Energy is everything. It's how you show up. It's how you speak with people. It's how you lead. It's how you feel about your business, how you feel about your life, how you feel about your vision and your future. That energy you're showing up with. The world doesn't need your words. They're feeling your energy. So when we think about what we're going to talk about today, it's not just about more goals, but it's about being in alignment. I'm sure there's many of you, if you didn't achieve a certain goal, a lot of it is why? Now, some of you might be able to say, I gave it every single thing I had. I was soaking wet. I was drenched, 150% effort. Awesome. But then there's probably some where the expectations are a little bit out of alignment. We might have goals, but did the actions, did the leadership, did the energy match that goal? So a year changes, and the goal every year is to level up, to become more. And so in order to create a different result, it's when we decide. And so what clarity does for your life, for your business, for your mindset, it creates power. Are you crystal clear? Are your goals crystal clear? Is your income goal crystal clear? Is your management goal crystal clear? Is what your team going to look like crystal clear? A decided heart, you know what that does? It creates momentum. Your heart's on a mission. Your heart's unstoppable. Your heart is already excited because it knows where it's leading your entire self. And when your goals are anchored in belief, absolutely nothing can stop you. The leaders who figure things out, they believe that they can. So they're solution-based. Nothing is holding them back. Nothing is stopping them. Okay. So I want you to really take some time today. If you should have already done it on January 1 or before January 1, but have a journal by you, because I'm going to encourage you when we're done that you're going to be journaling. I want you to really open your heart as we spend some time together. But I also want you to sit in yourself and be willing to be really honest. Because when it comes to goals, when it comes to finances, when it comes to stuff, honestly, we're not always honest. And a lot of people are blaming, they're justifying, I've heard people say maybe it's my company. Maybe it's what's going on in the world. Maybe it's the distractions. But honestly, take ownership. Because when we there are people out there crushing it with the same stuff going on in the world, in the same company that you're a part of, and they're crushing it. And the same industry you're a part of. So there's always an exception to the excuse. There's always an exception to the excuse. So what I want you to think about during our time today is that absolutely nothing changes until you decide. And today, that decision is available to you. If you have not made it yet, that decision is available to you. Okay. So I want you to like really sit there. Like you could even be like active, like take your hand, put it over your heart and actually say to myself, am I ready to lead myself differently this year? Like, am I ready? And make that like pledge to yourself. Okay. And you want to have a really clear vision. And so we talk about clarity. We talk about having a clear vision. You know, a lot of people's vision is really cloudy. It's like, I want to get promoted. To what? When? I want to make more money. How much? When? Like, I want to be successful. What does that mean? So clear vision, you cannot hit a target that you haven't named. You have to name the target. What is the target? And so when you have clarity, what it's doing is honoring your future self. You want to respect yourself, honor your future self, love your future self. And so you want to be really clear, because then when we don't achieve what we set out to do, it's like, well, were we clear? Were we decided? Most people don't fail because they lack the ability. And that's what I want you to know. Every single one of you have the ability to be more focused. You have the ability to be more disciplined. You have the ability to be more committed. You have the ability to make more money. You have the ability to lead a team. The question is, will you decide and will you commit? So most people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they lack vision. Like if you don't see when you're growing to the next level, if you don't see when you're doing this, a team relies on the vision of their leader. And vision is not vague. Vision is very specific. Vision is very emotional. And vision is very personal. Okay. So these are some questions I want you to ask yourself. What do I want this year to stand for? So maybe it's going to stand for energy for you. Maybe it's going to stand for discipline for you. Maybe it's going to stand for living in your word. What do you want this year to stand for you? Maybe it's showing other people what's possible. Who must I become to live that life? So if for example, your goal is to show your team what's possible, who must you become to do that? Because desire isn't enough. Interest isn't enough. It's becoming who you're meant to be. A lot of people in business, we all come to the table with something special, something unique. So maybe somebody, was a teacher, they have those skills. Maybe somebody was an athlete, they were very disciplined. All these different skills. But that's only going to get you so far. And so success is all about evolution. It's about leveling up. So your future self, the self that's going to achieve the goals that you're setting out, who must you become in order to do that? Does it involve being healthier? Because I'm telling you, what you eat and the way you move your body absolutely affects your success level, 150%. Are you going to be somebody that wakes up and makes their bed every day? There have been people that actually challenge me on this. I'm successful and I don't make my bed. Then you're only going to be successful to a point. Like, how can you even walk around if your home, if your surroundings aren't organized? There's this thing, how you do anything is how you do everything. So it's little things like that. What habits are you going to change to live that life? What am I no longer available for? So that could look like I'm no longer available for excuses. I'm no longer available for having conversations with people that justify and blame. I'm no longer available for not maintaining my management level. I'm not available for that anymore. I'm no longer available for not earning my bonuses. I'm no longer available for declaring that I'm going to earn a trip and not going. I'm not available for that nonsense anymore because I'm made for more. Another question, what management title will I build to this year? Like what? So many people are afraid to declare that goal because what if they miss it? If you don't declare it, you are missing it. Nobody gets to the top of anything by accident. You are not a potato. You're not getting there organically. Okay. So what management title will I build to this year? Are you convicted in it? Have you decided? When our current circumstances are unacceptable, that's when we will take the action required to make changes. What income goal will I reach this year? What is the dollar amount that you are going to be earning? And so when you think about vision, a clear vision isn't just what you want, it's who you are becoming while you're carrying out that vision. So we could all have a vision of whether that's a management title, an income level, a fitness goal, but that in between, that's who you're becoming. That's the discipline. That's working in the dark. That's practicing. Okay. So what you want to do, because we talked about getting a journal out, you want to write the vision as if it's already happened. I am are the two of the most powerful words that exist, because what follows I am will become your reality. And too many people wander through life saying, I am tired. I am old. I am frustrated. How about I am powerful? I am confident. I am abundant. I am wealthy. I am prosperous, right? I am able. So you want to write the vision as if it was already happening. You want to see that vision. So you want to make a vision board. You want to close your eyes. You want to let that vision be ingrained in your head. You want to know what you're working towards. You want to let that, so you feel it in every bone in your body. And the next thing was feel it. You want to feel that. How will you feel when you become that person? How will you feel when you grow to that management level? How will you feel when you have the team that you're visualizing? And live from that. So create the vision, see it, feel it, and then every decision you make, every move you make, you're coming from that. So clarity isn't pressure. Okay. And pressure is good, by the way. We talk about this all the time. That's how diamonds are formed, extreme heat and pressure. Clarity isn't pressure. It's giving yourself permission to move forward with confidence. That's what clarity is. Because if you're not clear, how can you move forward with confidence when you don't know what you're working towards? So I want you to, when you have that journal, write out a sentence that starts with, this year, I am creating a life where This year, I am creating a life where I am more disciplined. Go to the gym 4 days a week. Blah, blah, blah. What is it that you're going to do? Okay? Because a decided heart and unstoppable energy, right? We could create that vision. Now it's time to have a decided heart and unstoppable energy. Energy doesn't come from motivation. It comes from a decision. Like, you could listen to a good podcast, you could go to a good training, and you can get motivated. Okay? But motivated lasts a certain amount of time. Most of the time, it's 24 to 48 hours, to be honest with you. Inspiration comes from within, and energy comes from a decision. And I talk about it all the time. When I started with my business, my company, 20 years ago in May, never sold a thing in my life, knew absolutely nothing about the industry, was brand new, was a baby, didn't have a team, didn't have influence, didn't have any guarantee of success. But I had a decision. I had a decided heart. And so what happened is every day I would be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be at the top. And oh my gosh, I'm going to be a top income earner, not because it was guaranteed, but because I decided. And the decision made it guaranteed in my mind because I was going to do it until, and then further on. So what a decided heart does is it removes options. It removes the option to slow down. It removes the option to shrink away when you set a goal and miss it. It removes the option to not perform at your very best. It removes the option not to work on your business every single day. It removes the option to just be okay with average or below average. When you decide, truly decide, your excuses lose power. Like, you just don't make them. You don't make the excuses. And energy follows commitment. For all the mamas out there, and I say mamas out there because I'm sure there's a lot of dads that do a lot for Christmas, but it's so funny. Like, I see these reels all the time that, like, the dads are just as shocked Christmas morning when the children open the gifts. So all of my kids are young adults, but I love Christmas. I do all the shopping, pretty much all the shopping. I don't want to dismiss Scott from anything, but I do like 99.9% of the shopping. Not that he's not willing, but A, I'm a control freak, and B, I just do it. I'm hosting Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, the day after Christmas. And there's so much I can't even imagine now. You guys are listening to this in January, but I'm recording this in December. My point is, like, I'm committed to the holiday. I'm committed to the morning. I'm committed to the 3 days. So no matter how much I have to do, it never feels stressful for me because my energy is so abundant and so happy and so loving. And so unstoppable energy is not hype. It's the quiet confidence of someone who already decided they're not turning back. I'm going to ask you, like, when you're really thinking, spending some time with yourself, did you declare a goal last year that at some point you gave up on? that at some point you stop talking about, that at some point you stop rallying your team around? Like, did you? Right? And so some examples of like, there's no turning back. You're not negotiating with your goals daily. You show up because it's who you are now. You slam the back door. You burn the boats. You respect your word. So something you want to like ask yourself is, where have I been considering instead of deciding? Like, I've been considering growing to the next level if everybody did what they said they were going to do, or if the right people joined my team, or if the company did more. I've been considering getting healthier, but it's the holiday. Like, what have you been considering instead of truly deciding? Have you been interested versus committed, right? And interested is like, you'll do it when you kind of feel like it. You're interested. But committed is like, you're doing it. And so a decided heart doesn't wait for evidence, it creates it. So it's not waiting for the next rock star. It's not waiting for the next company incentive. It's not waiting for things to change in the economy or the crazy world. A decided heart doesn't wait for evidence, it creates it. So I really want you to ask yourself, where have I been leaving the door open to quit? Now, some of you could be like, I didn't quit. We don't quit when we make a public announcement. We quit when we stop being excellent. That's when we quit. When we settle for less than our potential. When we're kind of there, but we're not all in. We're physically there, but we're not leading with vision. What am I deciding fully right now? Like, what are you deciding fully right now? And really kind of let yourself allow that decision to land. And you want to be setting goals that actually work. So as we're beginning the new year of 2026, you obviously want to set a yearly goal. You want to have 90-day goals, and you want to have 30-day goals. And then, of course, you want to have 7-day goals and 24-hour goals and all of those things. And I'd recommend to people, if you're not really familiar or used to building that muscle of goal setting, a yearly goal is too much for you. You can set a yearly goal, but now you need to backtrack it. What do you need to do in the first 90 days? And then to achieve a 90-day goal, it's like, what do I need to do in 30 days? And what do I need to do in 7 days? And what do I need to do every single 24 hours? And really hold yourself accountable. Big visions require small, aligned actions. And that's why it's so important to have all different time frames of goal. So when you're looking at the yearly goal, choose one primary goal. One. Now, most of the time, your most important primary goal is going to have a lot of other goals attached to it. So for example, if your one primary goal is I am growing to the top of my company. Okay, there's a lot of other goals, right? But that's the one thing. If the one thing is maybe an income target, or if the one thing is a management level, or the one thing is a trip, one thing that moves your life forward the most, because you're going to have to do so many other goals to achieve that one that requires growth. Because if everything is a priority, nothing becomes a priority. So you want to make that one thing like, I'm achieving this come hell or high water. If this one goal happened, how would your life change? And that's what happens. Like when people just set like a million small goals, or I'm going to see what happens, or I'm going to leave this in God's hands. Now, I want to say this. Everything I have built, everything I am is all from God. I understand that. But God does not reward actions that we don't take. He expects us to be courageous. He expects us to take faithful action. And so what is that one goal? Because one aligned goal, fully committed, if you fully commit to it, has the power to change every single thing. So I want you to write down that one yearly goal, and then I want you to finish this sentence. This goal matters because. Like sometimes you need to reflect on that. That's going to have probably a multitude of answers. So when I started my business, I set a 6-month goal. You could see our earnings statement. Okay. My results were not typical. Neither was my effort, my mindset, my discipline. I was committed. Nothing was stopping me. Okay. And so if I were to write a sentence like that, this goal matters because, I would have followed it with, because I said I would do it, because I live in my word, because I'm committed to being evidence of what's possible, because I looked my team in the face and said I would lead you to the top of this company, because it would allow Scott to retire, because it would allow me to start paying for college. So this goal matters because. And so you want to do that. Why does that goal matter? You want to be emotionally attached to why. And that's your year goal. And then you want to talk about 90-day goals because you want to break the year into seasons. Most people waste time. Like they're gung-ho in January. They're coming out guns a-blazing. And by February, like they're kind of wasting time. Like, I have all year to do this. And then all of a sudden it's January 1. It's like, oh my word, I'm in the exact same spot. So you want to break the year into seasons and focus on that because focus creates momentum. And 90 days is long enough to stretch, but short enough to stay engaged. So in other words, so for me, when I set a 6-month goal to the top of my company, what I did was I broke it down into 2 months, 2 months, 2 months. Okay. And so I knew that if my end result was this number, what did I need to create in the first 2 months? And I set those goals and I didn't lift my head up until I met them. Because what am I going to do now? Roll into month 3, wasting 1 month and 2 and expect to have the same goal that I set for my 6-month out. So that's what's great about the 90 days. It's long enough to stretch, but it's short enough that you're like engaged. Okay. So really ask yourself, what must happen in January, February, and March to me physically, spiritually, professionally, activity-wise, calendar-wise, number-wise, income goal-wise to support my yearly goal? Because focus is power. I don't need to do everything. You don't need to do everything, but you need to do the right things, the right things. So you want to really name what are the next 90 days for you. So for example, it could be like, this is my season of discipline. Maybe you're somebody that lacks discipline today. And in the next 90 days, we're going to start building that discipline. Because here's the thing, you could set these monster goals, but until you build the discipline to attain the smaller goals, how do you expect to do the bigger goals? So maybe it's your season of discipline. Maybe it's your season of living in my word. Maybe it's my season of showing up really big. Maybe it's my season of fully engaging in my business. You decide what this season is, okay? And then you look at the 30-day goals. And what's so important about 30-day goals, this is where belief becomes behavior. Like we can believe all we want, but if we don't start doing the behavior, taking the action, daily actions, non-negotiables, daily habits, your confidence grows every time you keep a promise to yourself. Do you guys know that a lot of times when people quit something, it's out of shame? Because they didn't live in their word. They didn't do what they said they were going to do. Your confidence and your belief and your vision grows every single time you keep a promise to yourself. Every small promise that's kept builds the leader that you trust. And you're building yourself. So I want you to choose one daily negotiable every day and say it out loud. And so that's why I do affirmations all the time. Like pick that daily non-negotiable. Maybe it's I'm working my business 60 minutes a day. I'm doing personal growth. Whatever it is, you want to say it out loud because the goal is to stay true to your commitment. Do you know that when it comes to leadership, I can't even stress this enough, people follow commitment. It's okay to be setting goals and missing them. It's okay, but your team is watching. Like when you set a goal and you didn't hit it, what happened next? Did you slither away? Like what? Staying true to your commitment. Discipline is self-respect in action. Okay. So what happens is motivation will fade. Your commitment is what remains. Your commitment is what keeps you going. You don't wait to feel like it. There are things that I do in my business that I genuinely don't feel like doing. But I do it because I feel like having the life and the business that I desire. And I know one cannot come without the other. You move because you said you would move. Your future is built in the moments that absolutely nobody sees. Those are the discipline moments. So really ask yourself, what does the version of me I'm becoming do on hard days? What? And if you had 50 people on your team, what would you want them to do in hard days. So you want to build routines and create habits that support your goal. You want to remove distractions. For some of you, it might literally mean timing yourself on Instagram and putting your phone down. For others, it might mean to protect your energy. And friends, let me tell you something. I fall into this category too. I go down rabbit holes. All of a sudden, I'm like going to do something and I'm like, it's not good from time to time. This world has too much information, too many opinions, too accessible. So it's protecting your energy. And so you kind of really want to like remind yourself, I don't wait for motivation. I'm moving and taking action because I made a promise to myself, because I respect myself, because I love my business, because I'm committed to my goals, right? And like really ask yourself some self-reflecting questions. What will I do when I don't feel like doing a certain task? And you want to decide this before the hard days arrive, because it is really important to live in your word. Belief and knowing are huge. When your words align with belief, reality shifts. When somebody says something, and I use this example all the time, but when somebody could say, they say a goal to me, I know whether they're committed or not, or they're just telling me what I want to hear. Because belief has a sound. Belief has an energy. Your words shape your world. So you want to speak what you believe, not what you fear. And so often we speak about, I reached out to this person, or these people are not interested, or so-and-so is not doing anything. Speak what you believe, not what you fear, not what you don't want to happen in your life and business. Deep belief comes from evidence, and evidence comes from action. So you want to be taking those bold steps in belief. So you're building up your belief, right? Every single time you get a yes, every single time you have a win, every single time you earn a bonus, it's that evidence that's going to inspire you into action. You want to remove the energy of, I don't just hope this will work. I know it will work because I show up and act and build like somebody who believes. And you want to ask yourself, what words am I declaring over my life this year? Are those words love and joy and vision and abundance and courage and belief and leadership, right? My words, your words are not reactions. They're declarations. And so as we begin this new year, your words are declaration. I really want you to think about like this year, I am the kind of leader who lives in my word, crushes my goals, is more disciplined, because our ultimate goal is to be the example. There are people relying on you. Who's relying on you? I believe it's up to us to show other people what's possible. Your life gives other people permission. Your success shows others what is possible. Your promotion gives other people hope. And I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. The longer you stay where you are, you're making it look hard. People joined you because they fell in love with your vision, your belief, your leadership, something. It is time to level up. But I want you to know that leadership isn't perfection. Leadership is consistency. It's showing up. It's doing the do. It's putting one step in front of the other. We don't inspire other people by talking. We inspire other people by living in it. When you stay committed, you become proof. Wow, he did it. She did it. I can too. You're proof that growth is possible. You're proof that discipline works. You're proof that faith plus action has the ability to change everything. So I want you to really ask yourself, who is watching me rise? Is it your family? Is it your team? Who benefits when I don't quit? Because when we quit something that we set out to do, you hold other people back. So who benefits when I don't quit? Your family will benefit. Do you think they would benefit with somebody with more energy, more vision, more belief, more confidence, more income, more opportunity? Your team benefits when you don't quit. No team wants a quitter as a leader. They want a leader that steps into their potential, their greatness, lights the way, and leads the way. Your future team benefits when you don't quit. And again, I use the word quitting. Quitting is not the announcement. Quitting is not giving something your all. That's when you quit. You quit stretching. You quit reaching. You quit getting uncomfortable. Your why benefits when we don't quit. So one of the things that I want you to repeat to yourself like an affirmation, when I rise, when I live in my potential, when I live in my word, I give other people permission to believe. You are creating or dismissing or ruining belief for other people. We have that much potential as we enter this year. I want you to picture one person that's going to benefit when you stay committed. And so for me, right when I started my business, I was like, every time I felt defeated, I was like, my 4 babies are going to benefit if I stay in my word and they don't have college loan. So I want you to allow that to strengthen your commitment, strengthen your resolve. Okay. This year, as we're entering in it, we are entering 2026. It's a blank slate. This year is unwritten. There's that song, I think it's Natasha Bedingfield, Unwritten. It's amazing. This year requires your decision, clear goals, clear vision, a decided heart, unstoppable energy. When you think about leveling up, it's not just in what you do, but it's in who you choose to be. So I want to let you know that I believe in you. I'm grateful for you. And I invite you to enter this year to show yourself what is possible. And really those affirmations, I am clear, I am committed, I am becoming, I am unstoppable. And taking those aligned actions every single day, not tomorrow, not next week. You are made for more. Happy New Year, friends. Love you.